The 104th season in Chicago Bears history bookends with rivalry games, and there are a lot of fun matchups in between. Year 2 under head coach Matt Eberflus starts and ends with a bang. I'm Jeff Joniak. My broadcast partner Tom Thayer from ESPN 1000 here in Chicago. He's in Maui enjoying the sunshine, but we do this every year. It is the 2023 version of the NFL schedule release, and it's proudly brought to you by Bears VIP, the official VIP fan packages partner. Big Tom, the Super Bowl winning guard. We dig in from beautiful Kaanapali Beach, and it's the Green Bay Packers to kick off the season. They're coming to town on September 10th for a 3:25 kickoff.
You know, when last year's season concluded and you saw what the prospects of a guy like Justin Fields could bring to the future of this football team, I think everybody wanted to see how the schedule was going to lie itself out. And there's nothing better than Bears Green Bay at home week 1.
Bears have not beaten the Packers since December 16th, 2018, so time to open kickoff weekend with a bang. One of 8 home games this year in that first quarter of the season. The Bears will be week 2 on the road at Tampa. First thing I said when I said, Tom, week 2's in Tampa, he goes, boy, it's going to be hot.
Hey, listen, when I was an active player, the first thing I looked at is the egregiously hot games at the beginning of the season, and it stood out to me that Tampa week 2, I think the dietitians, the hydration services, those types of coaches on the Bears are going to be equally as important as the position coaches themselves.
Tom, it could be just as hot, though, in Kansas City for week 3. It's at Kansas City against the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and company. 12 of the 17 quarterbacks the Bears faced this year have been to a Pro Bowl. Certainly, he's been an MVP of the Super Bowl, but that is one of the bigger matchups. Bears fans are going to migrate to Kansas City. It should be a lot of fun.
It will be. And obviously, anytime you go into an environment like the Kansas City Chiefs provide, it's going to be a real test to the Bears. You know, they're going to come off of the Tampa Bay game in Tampa, but it's a Super Bowl environment when you go into Kansas City, and it would be a benchmark win for Matt Eberflus and his staff if they go in there and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Russell Wilson with a new head coach and Sean Payton week 4. That'll be at Soldier Field as well for a noon start. Then a first of 4 primetime games. Washington, Sam Howell and the Commanders on a Thursday night, October 5th, week 5, second consecutive meeting against your old teammate and Washington head coach Ron Rivera. They were winners last year, 12-7. Another battle up front, though, for the offensive line against really good interior defensive line there in Washington.
And it's also a test of the mental toughness of this football team. The first time that you bring a young group of guys into a Thursday night matchup, it really gives you a challenge to your preparation. And how is your team feeling coming off of a Sunday night game or Sunday game into a Thursday night game?
And into then another playoff team a year ago, the reigning division champions, the Minnesota Vikings, coming to Soldier Field on week 6 at noon. Kirk Cousins may be looking at one last shot with the Vikings. We'll revisit them later in the schedule. Week 7, the Raiders and Jimmy Garoppolo. That's also a Soldier Field kickoff. And then a Sunday night primetime game, which to me kicks off the biggest and most difficult chunk of the schedule. The LA Chargers and Justin Herbert on the road October 29th in week 8. Justin Herbert's a handful.
Yeah, you know, another kind of challenge of team discipline. It's a long challenge. It's a Sunday night game. You're in LA, SoFi Stadium, which the Bears have already played in so far. And then it's making sure you're prepared because your next week is going to be a short week because of that Sunday night travel.
Week 9, Bears will head down into Bayou to take on Derek Carr and the Saints. Week 10, a big one. Thursday night against Carolina. Bears can get a 2-for-1 here if they knock out the Panthers to keep them, because you're looking ahead to next year and that top 10 pick potentially. But Bryce Young and DJ Moore facing his old teammates. Then at Detroit, this is the team that everybody's picking to be the division champions this year. Last season's trip to Ford Field did not go well for the Bears, 41-10 losers. But this is going to be a big test at this point in the season. We're going to know a lot about what Detroit is by then.
Yeah, you're going to have a snippet of what the Bears are about in the division because you've already played Green Bay to open up the season. But there's such high expectations for the Detroit Lions. This is going to be a game that the Bears they have to control because it's going to mean a lot to the future.
And after that, a Monday night matchup, the lone Monday night matchup at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins and company coming off their 21st division title in franchise history. But at least it's not December or January, Minnesota, which we always go to. Coming out of the bye then, week 13 bye, back against Detroit. So you get all those division games crumpled up there. And then at Cleveland, we don't know what the actual date for that game will be. Deshaun Watson and company The Bears are going to face a lot of top running back units. Cleveland has one with Nick Chubb, Tommy. 11 of the 17 games against teams with top 15 running back duos.
I know that you don't like the late season buys, but I do. I think it gives you a chance for your team to regroup a little bit going into that stretch run against the teams, not in your division exclusively, but you have a couple division games to end the season. So I think it's a big time to kind of get a feeling of where your team at and where you need it to be at the finish.
All right, then we go back to Soldier Field, 325 in a Week 16 against Kyler Murray, if he's healthy, with the ACL. The Arizona Cardinals also with potential 2 top 10 picks next year in the draft. And then the Atlanta Falcons. We know they're going to run the ball with their cachet of backs, including Bijan Robinson, the highly touted rookie. And then to wrap things up, Week 18, we'll see what it means, Saturday or Sunday, January 6th or 7th, to wrap up against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. We're going to certainly know by then what we don't know yet about Jordan Love.
Yeah, and we're going to know a lot more about Justin Fields. And I think that's the key ingredient here. We're not worried about where Jordan's going. We're worried about where Justin's going. When you get towards the end of the season and those cold conditions, I think you're going to get a better understanding what the Bears have the capabilities of doing within this division.
Based on winning percentages, the 18th most difficult schedule in the NFL, according to the National Football League. For the Bears, opponents just about 500, only 4 playoff teams from a year ago. A gentleman by the name of Mike Clay says the Bears have the 8th easiest schedule based on his analytics. But who knows? Who's healthy when? Who's playing when? How teams are they hot? Where's the momentum? Did the games matter? It's going to be a fun season, though, Big Tom.
Right. That's all hogwash. You got to see who's playing when you're playing them and how your team is playing when you play the opponent. I'm looking forward to what should be an exciting season.
Yes, I'm going to keep saying it. The Bears are poised to make some noise in 2023 into 2024. That's going to wrap us up, Tom. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're brought to you by Bears VIP, the official VIP fan packages partner. Thanks for watching, everybody.